I've always said in our jobs, we're as good as our last miracle.
Yeah.
And some of the challenges we have, if you and they're unscripted, you don't know what's going to take place. But if you've got a great infrastructure, which is Ray does, and it can minimize some of the adversity that you end up facing. You can't write a script for something like Coach Spurrier to obviously retire in the middle of the year. And that's good news, bad news. But and I've said this to people. I've been asked, Ray's hired coaches before. It's not like you have somebody that's never hired a coach before. He knows it, he understands it, and he understands how it works and what it takes. And so there'll be so much carryover because of that past experience that he'll put South Carolina in a position where they can have the most amount of success that they can have. I mean, the commitment that South Carolina's made from a facility and some of the other things, the sincere commitment they made over the years, makes South Carolina such a better opportunity than it was when Steve first took the job. And that's a credit to the Gamecocks. That's a credit to the South Carolina family to position themselves.
Eric, when they tore the roundhouse down, did they send you a commemorative brick? Have you?
I'll tell you what, that place was wretched. It was wretched, and it was. Joey Compton was a softball coach. I don't blame her. She. It was horrible. We had so many problems in that place, and she left, and she wanted to go. She wasn't going to have her office over there. And as a lot of people know, we just had problem after problem after problem, and thank goodness we were able to move out of that and get into the Rice Athletic Center. But it was despicable to put a program on this level under those kind of facilities. But that wasn't the worst. The worst was over there in the training room for our varsity sports. It took time to be able to address those issues. It wouldn't happen overnight. And like I always said, it took us a while to get where we are. It's going to take us a while to get where we want to go. And then this groundwork has been laid, and Ray continues to expand on it.
You look at USC now, Eric, and a lot of that was accomplished under your vision. Do you still keep up with what's going on down there? Some of the new programs being started?
And Tammy Brooks Springs, she had made a huge commitment back when I was there, and I wrote her a thank you note probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. I got some pictures of how beautiful the outside was, and our dream was, if you go back, remember we had about 700 parking spaces around Williams Rice, and we started eliminating them, and then people got mad because but ultimately our goal was to get to take a lot of that parking and out of there and make it more beautiful. But also a goal was, I was scared to death of a student or a young kid being hit because the drinking had been going on and a young kid darting in and out for a football or whatever, and then a car hitting him, then we got a tragedy. So the idea was that, the whole thought process, so it gradually took place, and then the culmination of was what they finished. But Tammy was the one that did plant the seeds for it, and I wrote her a thank you note. And obviously I don't work there anymore, but I wrote her and I said, on behalf of South Carolina, everybody thanks you, because it was your gift that got everything jump-started to be where it is today. So you gotta give credit where credit is due, and she stepped forward many years ago when it was hard to comprehend what kind of impact it was going to have on the whole Williams Rice. And it is. I understand. Kevin O'Connell sent me pictures, and it's downright beautiful. I'm very proud for South Carolina.
Eric, the fact that Ray has basically a half a season to lay groundwork before he can actually, or before he probably begins to actually talk to people, what kind of a head start is that from an athletic director's perspective in a coaching search?
Well, I think it's a head start, and I think we all have to be sort of thinking about that no matter what, because you never know those kind of things when they happen. So in their mind, you got to be prepared for it. Now, in some situations, you have to be prepared for it more than other situations, because what the tea leaves. Now, we knew Coach Spurrier. You just never know, but you know there would be a possibility somewhere along the line, so that you're able to prepare for that and get a little bit ahead of the game. And then on top of that, with him retiring in the middle of the year, then that makes it that's a definite. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So you can become totally immersed, and it is an advantage. But the challenge is you got a lot of other schools that are turning over this year also.
Yeah.